Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, I haven't forgotten about you. I couldn't possibly forget about you. Well done to those who joined the chat super early. You get a prize for being the most keen to learn about the map. So, Jeanette, you get a prize. I don't know what the prize is, just bragging rights, I think, for wanting to learn about the map the most. It's a couple of minutes before 12:30. So put in the chat today whether you think we're going to have summer. I've read that we're going to have lots of rain. I've read that we're going to have a heat wave. As I look out over Manchester, it's grimy. So do you think we are going to have a hot summer in the UK? Let me know your thoughts. Grey in Worthing, Jeanette. No, yeah, I think it's grey all over, to be perfectly honest with you. But fingers crossed. If we win the Euros, who cares, Mark? That's a very good point. Wettest summer in history, possibly. Yeah, I don't think we are going to have a summer, but I will keep my fingers crossed, not just for warm weather, but for winning the Euros as well. I mean, people who are from Big Change will know that I'm not actually a football supporter, but for everyone who does enjoy watching the football, I will keep my fingers and toes crossed for you. We will give it another minute before we make a start. Welcome, Jen. Welcome, Natalie. Welcome, Gregory. Welcome, Gap Welfare. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, let us make a start. So today's 15-minute lunch and learn webinar is on the map. We are going to be covering a few items today. Some of them you may well have used because we have borrowed those from the Google Map functionality. And those are conveniently placed in the middle of today's presentation, hoping that you will stay with us right until the end where we look at the right-click hidden features. If you are new to one of these presentations or webinars, or you haven't seen the newsletter, you might be wondering who I am. I am Jonathan Isaacs. I am Product Marketing Manager here at BigChange. I'm coming up to 8 years service with the company. Everyone who is interested in BigChange is welcome, including customers and potential future customers. If you are a potential future customer, some of the things that we do are on screen. We have over 2,000 customers and head over to bigchange.com for more information. Hopefully your screen will look something like this. I have updated the image on this. So the chat is open and we've heard already from a few people as to whether or not we get our summer. You can chat about that. Chat about anything you like in there, really. Don't put your username and password in or anything like that because it'll be shared with everybody. You can ask Q&As. I will do my best to answer these where possible. If you love something or really like something, you can use the react button and don't press the raise hand. That won't do anything. Depending on the question and depending on the time, we will do a Q&A section at the end. Teams has been having issues, so I will be dropping a link in at the end for a very quick survey. But do take a coffee or another hot drink if you find this interesting, and watch us back on youtube.com/bigchange. We will do our best to get that uploaded by the end of today. So, what is the map? The map is probably one of the main features of the platform that you use, secondary to the schedule, because it shows where pretty much everything that has a location against it can be. Now, these can be fixed locations, such as contacts, or locations which change with tracking information, such as vehicles and your engineers. It displays the information in real time, so there's no need to refresh it. It's perfect for putting information on a dashboard or big screen that is constantly on display in your reception area or in your area of operation. And if we zoom in, here we are displaying jobs which are being completed today, or well, they were being completed at the date I took that screenshot. The color of the flag denotes the stage that they're in. So if they are on purple, they are currently being worked on. If they are green, then they've been completed successfully, etc. But the ones that are highlighted in red towards the north of that map, those are late. So again, really interesting information that you can have on a dashboard in your area of operation and quickly glance over it at any moment you may want. Of course, you can combine all of those functionalities with alerts. But the map is much more than that. We are going to delve into some of the features. So the first thing is what I'm calling Find Anything. Now, if you're new to BigChange, you may well have had a quick look at this, but it's much more powerful than it first may seem. So in the top left, or nearly top left of the screen, we have a little magnifying glass, and in there you can search pretty much anything you want. So I can type in the name of a resource. We have a huge number of resources on here, and if we were to type in the name of a resource, we would be able to find that single one. We can type in a contact from our CRM. Again, find out exactly where they are on the map. We have the address. This doesn't look at things which are in CRM. So I could search for Buckingham Palace or Houses of Parliament or anything else you may want. It could be a company that you haven't yet put in CRM, and it will find it for you, provided it's on Google, of course. But who isn't on Google? And you can then search what 3 words as well, just by entering in some of the what 3 words. If you're not familiar with what 3 words, it's absolutely brilliant. It's basically a way of the entire Earth being put into 3 meter by 3 meter squares. It's the modern day way of giving coordinates, as you will. So perfect if you are servicing machinery in the middle of a field, or you are going to work with customers who are off the beaten track. So we have the ability, once we have searched, we have the ability of loading the map with our resources or our engineers. We can click on that and we can add various different options, such as the labels, so the information that is displayed against that particular icon. We have the ability of only showing those that are moving or not moving. And we have various other options as well that you can see on screen. We have the ability of putting contacts on the map, not just all contacts, but contacts of specific groups. And as before, we have the opportunity of displaying certain what we call labels, so the information which is attributed against them. Now, this could be absolutely vital for not just job scheduling, but also from a sales and marketing perspective. You could have all of your prospects on a map and you can see those in a geographical area of coverage. You could have your top 10 targets for prospects as well, and see where they are, and then move them from group to group as they move through the sales cycle, and they would then disappear from that map. So it's not just a question of tracking, it's a question of other things as well. We are going to be looking at territories later, but you can display territories on the map. So if we go back to the sales example, you have particular areas of coverage. You can display those on the map. And the same with if certain engineers cover certain territories, you can display those on the map as well. But we will take a look at territories later. And then finally, we are looking at jobs. Jobs are, as we showed on the dashboard, you can have certain job types, you can have certain dates, and you can apply certain labels as well. So you have the information on screen that is relevant for you. Now, I can also pop out the side drawer. So in this case, I have popped out the side drawer on resources, and we can do something special which not a lot of people know about, but it's a great feature. Let's say you want to follow or have on screen just a couple of resources. Well, if we actually click on the icon to the left of that resource box, you'll see that it goes yellow, and all of the other items, all of the other resources disappear from screen. So if I go back to this previous screen, you can see if I bring the little red pointer, we have 2 here. And then if I click on that box, it turns yellow, and we now only have one. So you can have as many of those resources, and it works for vehicles as well, highlighted on your map. Now, anything you do on the map does not affect what other people are seeing as well. So if you have a view set up for your particular operation, anyone who works in the business will be able to do the same and not be impacted. So I mentioned that we're going to talk about territories. We have talked about territories on other webinars, but I make no apology for covering it again because it's absolutely fantastic. And we're going to show how you can set it up. So we click on the little eye icon and then we click on manage. We click on create and we have a couple of options. The first one is to create a territory manually, and we can do that by using the circle, square or polygon shape. This can be quite time consuming, but it can also give a certain degree of accuracy. We can pick a color and we can give it a name. But the vast majority of territories you will want to create probably fall into one of three categories. They probably fall into a small postcode area, such as LS25. That's a small postcode, subset postcode of the Leeds area. They might also fall into a larger geographical area, such as LS, the postcode for Leeds, or M, the postcode for Manchester. And finally, they might fall into a geographical area which is a chargeable zone or a common zone of interest, such as the Utilise or other congestion charge zones across the country. So if we look at territories in the UK, we have that 2-digit postcode, which I talked about. That is the LS version. If I type in LS, it automatically populates the territory created around the lead postcode. So perfect if you have sales territories, perfect if you have engineer coverage. You can simply repeat that process for the areas of coverage that you want. You can give it a color if you want. Again, you could have specific sales regions or one color, specific areas of coverage for engineers as another color, and you can save it like that. Once we have edited it, we can go ahead and delete it if we wanted to. I've just jumped ahead and we now have the option of the miscellaneous underneath the territories in the UK. And this is where we have a plethora of common, we'll call them zones of interest. So we see Bath, we see the Humber Bridge, we see the Dartford Crossing. And in this case, I'm going to select the London Congestion Charge, or ultra low emission zone, I should say. Really, really powerful, saved in a matter of seconds. We can change the color if we want, and then we can also set up an alert. In this case, it's when any resource drives in the ULEZ zone at any time. If you love the alerts and you're new to alerts, do check out the 15-minute lunch and learn that we did. I think it was the first one that we did. Absolutely brilliant webinar. Even if I say so myself, it includes, I think, 6 different sections of alerts, including alerts that you may never have thought of setting up. So do take a look at that. That is on our YouTube channel as well. England's plane engines are still running. They will be coming back soon. I must have missed something on that. Let's have a quick look at the routing feature. So this is very similar to the Google routing feature that you will use if you use Google Maps. But if you don't use Google Maps, you won't know it exists, so I will very briefly cover it. If you click on a contact in your system, you can add it to the route. In this case, I am now going to search for an address that is not in my address book, and I'm going to go off to Buckingham Palace. So I will type in Buckingham Palace and then also add that to the route planner. And then we have this route. This is powered by Google Maps. Now, this is different to using Google Maps because, of course, Google Maps wouldn't have my contact in there. So much better to use it this way if we can. We have our route planned out and we can see the estimated time as it currently stands. We can now add another contact, and this could just be by searching, in this case, searching contact, and I'm going to add that to my route again. And we now have a 3-part route. And we can repeat this process as many times as we like. We're going to add a resource again. Google Maps wouldn't know about that, but it does in BigChange. And then we have our route planned out. Now, in reality, there's not much more you can do with this. It won't be sent down to the tablet or anything like that, but it does give you an indication, if you're on the phone with a customer, how long it might take them to do a round trip before you book it in. If you do want to send this to a tablet, an idea which I've just thought of, you can save the map as an image. That will download whatever's currently displayed on this map to you. And you can then attach it to a job or set of jobs if you want to. So pressing on very quickly, the next feature that we have is traffic. Again, this is taken from Google. Very simple. I think it's off by default the first time you view it, but under the little eye icon, you have this little traffic icon again, and that pulls direct from Google. So if I enable it, you'll see it very subtly changes the color of the roads depending where the traffic is. And if I put a split view on, you can see that this side of the screen on the right has the traffic on, and the side on the left doesn't. So it really quickly allows you to see where there is traffic. Perfect if you are wanting to see where a resource is or where they are going. Perfect for your dashboard view as well, so you can overlay your jobs on it. Street view, for those that are not familiar with Google Maps, again, you can click on any place in the map. We have a little person in the bottom right hand corner. If you drag and drop that little person onto the map and let go, you will be taken to the street view and you can navigate or you can spin yourself around. It doesn't come up too easily on this screen, but there are ways of dragging and dropping. But if you're not going to Buckingham Palace, you may well be visiting BigChange HQ. There is an opportunity to come and see us next month. More on that in a second. And you can have a quick look to see where we are. And I mentioned you can spin around. This guy here, I'm not too sure of his name, but he's usually on reception. So give him a wave and say hello to him. Final set of features is the right click. So by selecting any area of the map that you might not have got anything against, you can right click and you have various options. The first option is to create a contact. So very quickly create a contact that you may not have in your system. You can create a quick job, so a very simple task for an engineer to pick something up or go and complete any other quick job. You can see what's near your point of interest by loading up the rest of your contacts. So if you are adding a new prospect, you can see what other customers are nearby. You can see which resources are near. Perfect if you have a prospect on the line, you want to see if someone can come and see them. You don't want to necessarily create a new contact because if you can't fulfill their immediate requirements, they are probably going to they may well speak to someone else. But you can even filter this down based on skills as well. So in that scenario, if you have a prospect or a potential new customer calling up to fix a leak, you can immediately apply a skill so that someone who can do that is able to go. We can view other things as well by viewing the resource. We can see that journey on the map, which many of you will be familiar with, and the little hamburger icon allows you to replay the journey as well as other options as well. So there we have it, 6 speedy shortcuts on the screen. We have find anything, we have territories, we have the routing, traffic, street view, and we have right click. Please, before you leave, if you are going to leave a tiny bit early, well, not early, we have overrun. If you are going to leave, please do click on that link very quickly or scan the QR code on screen. I was hoping to do the Teams style feedback form, but Teams is having a bit of bit of a struggle today. So if you could scan that QR code or click on that link, which I've just dropped into the chat, please take a moment. It will only take you a moment to let us know what you think of the webinars, and we will love to hear your feedback. What is coming up? So I am actually taking some time off. It's a shock. So we have done the first 3. We have done alerts, speedy shortcuts, and the map. We're taking a week or two off. So on the 27th of June, I am coming back with scheduling secrets. The final two topics, we still don't know what we're going to cover. I've got some ideas, but I would love to know in the chat what you would like us to cover. So if you have a 15-minute idea of what we can cover, drop that into the chat now. If you want to sign up to scheduling secrets, you can do so by scanning that QR code that is on screen, and you will be taken to our webpage where you can also view the recordings of any of those webinars that you may have missed. So we hope to see you on the 27th of June. If you missed out on our webinar Innovate, you will have noticed that we announced BigChange Fleet, where you can save a huge amount of money on your fleet. We have also announced that our Innovate Q2 webinar is going to be taking place on the 10th of July. 2 weeks before, we'll send you a message and let you know, and we will cover everything that has been released in the previous quarter. Out now is BigChange Fuel, the ability to partner with a right fuel card and save money on your fuel as well. More details on that will be out in the Innovate webinar. I mentioned you could come and see us at BigChange HQ, and you can come and see us at the next growth event, which is on the 2nd and 3rd of July. Email louise.stone@bigchange.com, and she will let you know if tickets are still available, and if not, she will take you on the waiting list. Last but not least, our community newsletter is out. So I can see a lot of you have been dashing off to go and get your lunch, no doubt. I am aware we have overrun by 6 minutes. If there are any questions, let me just have a quick look. Keelan has asked, do you have territories for Ireland? I believe we have them for Northern Ireland. I'm not too sure if we have them for the Republic of Ireland yet. That's a really good question, Keelan. I will take that away with me and I will ask. If not, I will put that in front of the product team and make them aware it's something that you would like to see. Jeanette has asked, is there a way to have more than 2 months on the map? I think you're talking about the jobs. I can't quite remember. If an alert may pop up and say you're only allowed 1 month. If that's the case, then as the alert has pointed out, it's probably not possible. But again, I will pass that on to our product team and let them know it's something that you would be interested in. Is there a way of getting that? Is there a way of getting that GUI on our website? Which one are you talking about, Daniel? Give you a moment to respond. Interface with words instead of icons. I'm not too sure, Daniel. What I will do is I will locate your email address from the sign up page, and I will pass on these questions to your CS manager and ask them to reach out to you, because I feel like we will probably want to have a chat with you. The interface with words instead of icons. Yeah, I think it's probably best if we ask your CS manager to reach out to you and just go through it, because I don't want to give wrong advice based on the information that I have. But if I've shown it on screen, it may well be possible. Okay, in which case, I would like to thank you all very much for joining me for the Lunch and Learn. It wasn't quite 15 minutes. It was more like, well, a bit longer than 15 minutes. In which case, I will bid you farewell, and I will see you again for scheduling secrets on the 27th. Enjoy the rest of your day and speak soon.